I suppose big burning question really that everybody's now asking following this dramatic statement is how ill truly is His Majesty the King, King Charles III? As ever, let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Illness is a difficult thing, isn't it, for all of us? We all go at different speeds and we all recover at different points. I have a lot of sympathy for anybody who goes through any medical setback simply because, people sort of expect you to either bounce up really quickly because we read about people like that in the press, don't we? And it's the same for young ladies who've had babies and they snap back to being super thin 10 minutes after. It's just the look of the draw, the genetics, isn't it? It doesn't necessarily mean anything wrong. And it's the same in any medical matter, whether you've broken your ankle, twisted something or had a hip operation. Everybody should go at their own speed and be proud of that. Don't bother about what people think, trying to push you in to fit the mould, And this is clearly what's happened over here now in the United Kingdom with His Majesty the King. As we know, at the start of the year, sadly, he had to announce that he was having treatment for cancer. And that really rocked the world because for me, on a personal level, I'd always seen King Charles as one of these super fit people, I knew he was sparing with his diet. He seemed to sort of pace himself at the right thing. Yes, he has the best medical team. Yes, he has the best food around him, but it's all about your own personal thing, isn't it? Are you doing the right stuff? And to me, I thought King Charles just had got the right balance, and it came as obviously a bit of a bolt from the blue for the world, not just for him, obviously. And then he had to navigate this particular journey of which is undertaken. Rather strangely for him, he came out and very quickly told the world exactly what the problem was, and then that really saw an uptake in people wanted, of course, to check themselves out. So the positive came out of that. Over here recently, well, should I say in Paris recently, the 47th incoming President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, sat down with His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, Prince William, for an informal chat. And what's emerged out of that chat, and what I told you about, was the fact that, of course, Donald Trump has been very worried, concerned, and showing, humanitarian spirit, despite what people might think, towards Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and, of course, His Majesty the King, alongside Sarah, the Duchess of York, I might point out. He has that warm side, but forget the politics. That clearly is what he thinks about, and that's the reason I think why he's kept in touch. But it was this particular statement that came out and everybody's jumped on that I wanted to clarify. When he asked exactly how was his father doing to Prince William, he said fighting hard as he can. And this is now, some people might say, being misconstrued into, have we been told everything we should be about the King's health? Is he still having treatment? So I wanted to tell you what I know. The bottom line is, as one can imagine, I know people very close to His Majesty the King, and they've told me, truly, that the King is still having ongoing treatment. It's not ended yet. Unlike Catherine, the Princess of Wales, whose chemotherapy treatment is now concluded, his is still ongoing. So obviously, that's still a situation. The reason why he said fighting hard, basically, I've been told by the palace that that really was misconstrued as to fighting hard to kick it, to move on, to carry on, that sort of stuff. No cause for alarm. Now, I'm not suggesting either person got this wrong, because obviously any word can be misconstrued. And let's be honest, the palace themselves sometimes can muddy the waters of what we know and what we don't know, i.e. in, of course, the case of the late monarch Queen Elizabeth II. But all I can tell you is what I know right now. And according to that source, the bottom line is the King, yes, still receiving treatment, a lot better than he was, and hopefully we'll have some very positive news very soon. Fingers crossed, sooner rather than later. But that's truly where we are. So for all of those stories, once again, and digital platforms writing him off, simply not yet. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.